Will be starting here momentarily. You see our two-time king Eric Miller, and we were talking about this earlier. He's starting a little bit on the outside to try to get out of those berms.
Is indeed. Eric Miller's lining up next to him, or behind him is going to be Josh Bleiler. There's three-time king Shannon Campbell. Behind him his son, Raul Campbell. Then we've got Levi Shirley, JP Gomez, Rusty Bleiler,
Paul Horschel in his brand new car, Lauren Healy, a two-time king, Brian Cabrera,
Jason Shearer, of course, last year's winner, Raul Gomez, Clay Gilstrap,
Andrew McLaughlin, two-time king Randy Slauson, Bailey Cole, Levi Campbell, and last but not least, number 20, Disco Derek West. That's just a great shot from our drone on Eric Miller getting ready to take off. Who is going to be able to bump off Nick Nelson, if anybody? These guys could do it.
This is where it gets exciting, Miles. This is why I've been here all day. I've been looking forward to Power Hour so much. This is where we get to see the big dogs really run. However, we've seen some fantastic times already put down by Cody Addington. Also, by Brian Crofts, and of course Nick Nelson in a full throttle assault with that huge big block engine, and Khaleesi singing all the way around this course.
And another brand new car in the top 5 is Jordan Pellegrino in that IFS IRS machine. It was awesome to see. Man, this is about to go down. This is the fastest guys in the sport for the 2019 Nitto King of the Hammers, powered by Optima batteries. There's a great shot of the Optima battery on the side of Miller's car.
You know, guys, I got to throw it out right now. Yes, we got racing about to start, qualifying about to start, but look at the crowd here. We were, what 50, 60-mile-an-hour gusts? What the people at home don't realize, they are facing the wind. These fans, these crews, these drivers from other classes, give yourselves a big round of applause. You guys are the best race fans out in any power sports that there are. This is awesome, guys.
Okay, it's about to go live, and that is our two-times king, Eric Miller, sitting there. Solid axle car. We only have one solid axle car in the top 10 at the moment, and that is Rick Waterbury. Is that about to change?
Eric Miller hot on course, heading into the Hammertown tabletop. Eric Miller really on the throttle on that straight axle Miller Motorsports chassis.
And he's just become a dad as well. So he's been spending a lot of time at home with the family. Is that going to have affected his car prep? I doubt it very much as we watch Eric flying through the short course.
Diving in deep in that long sweeping turn. Eric Miller gets a little bicycle, gets it back under control. He'll hit this little tabletop into the whoop section towards the four-wheel parts rock section.
Now it's going to be interesting to watch the clock here. We saw Nick Nelson and Jordan Pellegrino. They were crossing this rock section in around about 50 seconds. What has Eric got for us?
And coming down this rock section, you take a hard left, and that's where Tom Ways took his tumble a couple of years back. So you want to come in hot, but keep it under control. And look at that, the shade really is affecting these guys a little bit, but Eric Miller really pushing hard, trying to get in that top,
guys, I
top 10.
had a chance to talk to a couple of different drivers that are running Fox shocks. They've done some new technology out there. They retuned these shocks. I'm talking to specifically Eric Miller as well as Jason Shearer. They're able to go 20 to 24 miles an hour faster in any of these rough sections that you heard in the past.
That's amazing as we watch Eric here. Now we're watching his pace. I reckon he's around 4 seconds off pace at the moment. Needs to have been cresting at about 129. He's cresting at 133. Got to find some speed, hit down through short bus, but this is where Eric is superb. He's so technically gifted.
And there's a lot of different rocks that are getting kicked out of the way. We saw Pellegrino take a little dip earlier. There's a lot of loose rocks here. These guys are hauling the mail coming towards the Jeep Arch.
Those Nitto grapplers hauling as he pulls on through, grabbing that big air from Eric.
A big bunny hop. Eric Miller pushing hard. I'm going to say top 20 so far. He's got a good run for him.
We were talking earlier, it's very difficult the back end of this course. It's so easy for the speed just to disappear from you.
And we were just talking about the win for the people here in town, but the win for the racers, all this dust, it's really showing to be another difficulty out there on course.
And Eric Miller coming around now to cross the line.
Looks like unofficially Eric Miller with a 2:30, so that currently puts him in roughly 12th position. Up next,
Josh Bleiler. Now, Josh had a brand new car for this year, and unfortunately during shock tuning he managed to roll it. So he's in the old car from last year.
he brought that just to go pre-running, but now that's going to be his legit race car, so tough break for him. We do have a little clip of that we'll bring in later on this week. But Josh Bleiler really pushing hard. We'll see what kind of time he can match against teammate Eric Miller. Big B Motorsports on course.
Jimmy, you're a racer back in your home area. Talk about what the weather conditions will be like, what you have to go through, specifically this wind and this dust. What is it that you have to go through, and how do you compensate for it?
The wind and the dust isn't going to be bothering these guys, but the cold is. So they're going to be sitting here for ages in their jackets and everything, trying to get themselves revved up, ready to rock and roll. And they are just going to be freezing as they come off of that line. And also as they're going out there, that bites into you. They have no windscreens, no windshields, just that helmet. But then adrenaline kicks in. And as soon as you leave that line, you forget about that. The biggest problem out here for these guys right now is the sun and the shadow.
And Josh Bleiler really pushing hard through this sand wash section, getting ready to head up towards short bus. Josh Bleiler has a pretty smooth run.
This is the key area now. We were saying it earlier on. The guys that we see who are very fast through here tended to be pushing into the top 10.
And it's getting really loose, really rutted out on this course also. So these guys are having to fight the elements on that side of things as well. But Josh Bleiler really pushing hard. Those Nitto tires hooking up great.
Yeah, it'd be great to see his time as he goes across there, but Ticker Top is missing this time.
We'll see how he attacks this downhill rock section, because if you take a bad bounce, just like we saw earlier, it can really get you off course.
A lot of skill, a lot of good vehicles, but you do still need that element of luck as well.
And right around here is where Eric Miller took that little bunny hop. We'll see if he gets in that same section. He takes the inside line. Look how rutted out it is getting in that little desert
you
section.
see the two lines right there. I'm starting to wonder, will we see anybody go right down the middle where it's smooth? I'm kind of wondering if that might happen.
Absolutely, we were saying earlier as well, will they start to go a little bit higher as well? Take a chance, see if they can cut that line.
Josh Bleiler with a smooth run going, heading through the Jeep Arch as we speak.
And as we watch Josh Bleiler now heading down towards the finish, we can see our only three-time king, and that means it's Shannon Campbell sitting on the start line.
Single seat IFS machine. Off-Road Hall of Fame, Shannon Campbell. Nitto Tires, Monster Energy. Hot on course, three-time team, Shannon Campbell.
Yeah, Shannon Campbell's driving style is conducive to qualifying efforts like this. He would be a natural behind a sprint car. He loves to back these things into the corners, get that left front or right front tire up in the air and just carry it around corners.
I can tell you now that Josh Bleiler came in his 16th position with a 2:33. That's how tight it is out here.
Shannon Campbell also has a little bit of short course experience, so he's all around. There's no doubt about it.
Shannon
in the
Campbell
rock
is
racing,
absolutely flying. We'll see him do this little tabletop into that desert whoop section. Look how flat it jumps out there. They've really been dialing in the suspension. He's got that spare tire on back to get everything ready for race day. Shannon Campbell moving fast.
Now, when this car was launched, they launched it as the Dragon Slayer, and he's got a heap of dragons to slay today.
He takes that hard left, blows out a little bit, goes around it, off course just a tick, but really pushing hard in this sand wash. Shannon Campbell's on a mission. It's great to see all those sponsors all over the side of this rig. He's been racing off-road ever since I've been involved. I just enjoy seeing the Campbells out here in full force. And I believe right behind him is going to be
look
Waylon
at that
Campbell.
for a hit. Making up his own lines as he comes on through the bottom of short bus. But it's these little things that make the differences, and it's these little things that are going to maybe put him on the top of the pile.
Heading up the top short bus right at 130, so this is going to be a very, very fast run. As long as it doesn't get tangled up with a rock on this downhill section.
He's around about 1 second, maybe 2 seconds off pace at the moment, but he is looking very good.
Nick Nelson's time of 2:18 is still sitting strong. We'll see if one of these guys can bump him out. Shannon Campbell all over the throttle.
Now let's see what he does here. If anyone's going to create a new line, it will be Shannon as he gets all four wheels off the ground.
We've got a couple more big names with brand new cars. Paul Horschel and Tom Ways coming up shortly. There comes Shannon back to the picture. Taking this long left sweeper up to the Jeep Arch. He is full committed right now.
Oh, look at this. This is a good time. He's lost a few seconds.
So he's already missed Nick Nelson's time.
Full commitment there from Shannon.
An almost identical car right behind him, his son,
And
Waylon
Shannon-
Campbell. He's made it to the podium the last 2 years.
Shannon comes across the line with a 2:26, pushing him into 6th place.
That's a great run. There goes Waylon. We'll see. I'll bet you the other times will be very, very similar. Waylon's really coming into his own. So another single-seat IFS Campbell Enterprise machine. Nitto Tire Monster Energy. Waylon really pushing hard.
Yeah, look at the wind out on the short course. It's going directly perpendicular across every lane in the short course.
The wind is absolutely insane right now for Power Hour. This is the 2019 Nitto King of the Hammers powered by Optima batteries. This is qualifying in Power Hour.
I don't know if you're able to see it. My angle from up here on the stage, I was watching Waylon as he heads out straight away from me, hit that last tabletop jump. Where he landed was about 3 feet from where he took off. The wind picked him up and carried him sideways in the air before he landed.
Now this wind is really blowing hard now. It's affecting some of our drone shots, but we're working really hard to get you the best images we possibly can.
Thank you, everybody here on site and back at home tuning in. Ultra4Racing.com/live. Get on the King of the Hammers Facebook. Hit that share button. Ultra4 Instagram. Hashtag it up. There's Waylon Campbell. Man, he's moving.
Oh, he's looking as clean as clean. This is the way you got to be quick.
Look
wheels
at the
to come
bicycle.
round. Commitment, commitment, commitment.
He is really pushing hard.
Think about this, guys. This is the future of this sport. Right there on track right now. There is no future. It's right now.
Waylon coming down this loose, tight, windy rock section.
He's about 4 or 5 seconds off pace at the moment.
Dancing around the rocks. We'll see if he can hit that little bunny hop.
Keep in mind.
There it is. That ass end came up just a tick, but the suspension really soaked it up.
Keep in mind, he himself came so close to winning this King of the Hammers, what, 2 years ago, I think it was?
Absolutely.
We're just mere seconds away.
And it's still a great pace and a great time here from Waylon Campbell as he heads up towards the Jeep Arch, cuts the corner.
I've been
Shucks it
watching that line quite a bit, and that's the line I would take if it was me. He'll bail off the Jeep Arch as we speak, heading back into Hammertown, and grab the checkered flag. One more
Here
jump
it
to go. Waylon Campbell fully committed all the way to the end.
And Waylon Campbell comes in 8th position with a 2:28.
So just 2 seconds off his dad. Up next, another almost identical single-seat IFS Campbell Enterprise car. Levi Shirley out of Dodge City, Kansas, number 81. He's done so well the last few years. We'll see what he can do this week out here at Hammers.
Levi, like Eric Miller before him, has just become a dad recently. And is that going to play on his mind? Is that going to slow him down a bit? You bet your life it won't. Miranda will be sitting at home cheering on as Levi hits this course.
Yeah, it's cool to see Levi and Eric with brand new kids, and follow them on social media. They're dads, they're racers, they're all over the place. It's really cool to see. Levi's really putting down a great time out there, heading up towards the Jeep, the four-wheel parts rock section.
Needs to be cresting through these rocks about on 50 seconds, and that's pretty much what he is.
So he's right on pace for Power Hour. These guys are absolutely slaying it out there on the desert. He's been doing a lot of tuning in the off-season. He completely stripped it all the way down, got it rebuilt. Levi Shirley's been busy in the shop, just like the rest of these guys.
Our fastest qualifier so far, Nick Nelson. He'll be watching this, and every time someone fails to get close to his time, he'll be doing a little dance and saying yes.
And coming up right behind him, I believe, is JP Gomez. He's fresh off 2 victories in Ultra 4 here recently, so we'll see if he can keep his streak alive. They've been a busy group. Levi Shirley cresting over short bus, coming down the hill,
Yeah,
right at 140.
Yeah, Levi's a bit off pace here at the moment.
But the car still looks like it's in great condition. That's another thing you don't want to do, is push too hard and then have to work on it the next 2 days.
Absolutely.
Most of these guys have spare everything, but it still takes a lot of time and effort to put it all back together.
But it's really important. They're going to want clear air on race day.
Still surprised no one's taken that middle line right down the middle of those two.
But in the
where
middle,
it's
there's
actually clear.
In the middle, there's some bushes there, so if you hit one of those just right, it could really upset the suspension.
We were also saying earlier about maybe they'd push out further to the left, but we haven't seen anyone do that yet. But we've got a couple of guys who are proper tacticians, particularly Jason Shearer, and maybe we will see that happening later.
And
as
Paul,
Levi has all 4 wheels off the ground, heading for the line.
One last jump to the finish line. Levi Shirley finishes the qualifying course. There's JP Gomez.
Then Levi Shirley comes in 19th position with a 2:33. But this
Joe
is the man of
Thompson.
the moment. This is JP Gomez. He's won the last 2 Ultra 4 races.
Joe Thompson built UFO machine. It's an absolute work of art. Single seat IFS machine where you sit right in the middle. These things look like a blast to drive. Taking that high bank line. JP Gomez looks a tick off pace.
It's so
Diving
hard
in
to
there.
tell. All of these guys are so fast now. There is only a few seconds that separate the top 20 cars. Amazingly tight racing. And still the wind blows here in Hammertown.
Which on race day is a racer's friend. So all that dust out there in the desert gets blown around. So hopefully they save a little bit of that for Friday.
As he comes across there at about 52-second pace. Again, maybe a 1 or 2 seconds down on where he needs to be. But it's this back end of the course that's the most important. He's got to pull back some time now. And the only car we've seen capable of doing that lately was Nick Nelson.
JP's in the sand wash, getting ready to take a hard left up towards the short bus. You can see the King shocks really soaking it up. Look how rutted out. Look how loose it is. We'll see where he pops over. It's been that 130 mark, so he's still right around on that fast pace.
This is good. He made up time there, so he's on pace at the moment. But the shadows are going to cause problems. He needs to get down here. It's a controlled crash landing as he makes his way down short bus.
There's that one rock that's been biting a few people, and he bounces right over it. Centers up over the other one, heading out into that little desert section.
Earlier we saw Khaleesi make short work of these massive ruts.
And there he goes on the way wide course.
That's a great line there. Look at the extra speed he's carrying as he comes down to that final turn.
Just a couple more turns and be heading down the Jeep Arch into Hammertown. He's got a great run going. Don't think he's quite got enough for Nelson. Ooh, bikes a little bit. That's cost him a couple seconds.
Yeah, has to check there. Another big jump, and that's cost him dearly. That bled away a few seconds.
That's still a top 15 run, I believe. JP Gomez back here in Hammertown. Up next is Rusty Bleiler, the father of Josh Bleiler, Big B Motorsports himself.
JP Gomez with a 2:24 goes up to 3rd position. A great run there from JP.
And Rusty took a tumble just after his son out there shock tuning this week. They've got the car back together and it's looking good. So the Big B Motorsports, they've been busy in the pits.
Rusty driving a Miller chassis, of course. Watched his son Josh racing, got the bug for it, built the car, and hasn't looked back since.
Last year was his first year racing with us and did very well, and he's been racing all season long, and he's a lot of fun to watch out there.
It's very impressive for somebody so fresh and so new to come to Ultra 4 and to do so well. He's
bouncing up the four-wheel parts rock section as we speak. Rusty Bleiler throwing down a good lap. That Miller Motorsports chassis soaking up the whoop section.
And for those of you at home who are just joining us, welcome to Power Hour here at Johnson Valley, California, as our top crews battle for the final qualifying places on Friday's 2019 Nitto King of the Hammers powered by Optima batteries.
And remember, there's $125,000 in cash purse on Friday's big race.
Now,
so
Miles,
these guys are going to be
answer me
laying it all on the line for that kind of money.
Miles, well, answer me this. Why are we not out there trying to win that money?
Well, again, it comes back to budget.
Because you're too cheap to bring your truck over here to race in this damn thing. That's what's it about.
You're not wrong. Right, here we go, Rusty.
Mr. Jim Marsden.
Here comes Rusty coming down the far side.
There's a lot of rocks in the way, right, that get kicked left and right. So they were out there pre-running earlier, but the course keeps changing quite a bit.
And there's so many technical areas to this course this year. It's not the full throttle assault that you expect it to be. There's a lot of technicality. These cars and crews are really having to concentrate hard to get all of those half seconds and tenths of seconds that make the big difference at this level.
So we're almost halfway through Power Hour. Up next is a brand new car, Paul Horschel. 2-seat IFS machine. It's an absolute work of art.
And here comes Rusty now down through the Jeep arch. Just see him hesitate slightly.
Rusty Bleiler, one last turn to grab the checkered flag, and he's here in Hammertown. And there's a great shot of Paul Horschel. I was in his pits a couple nights ago checking out the new car. It is absolutely beautiful, and he said he's going to push 110% in qualifying. He was our pole setter last year, so we'll see what he can do, if he can bump out Nick Nelson or not. But number 19, Paul Horschel, getting ready to take the green flag. Paul Horschel really launching great. It's a Danzio high horsepowered machine, lots of torque.
Paul Horschel was our fastest qualifier last year, came out early in the day and laid down a time that no one could beat. I was very surprised to find out he built a new car, but look at this thing. It wouldn't win any beauty competitions, but let's see what it can deliver on the course.
He's heading into the whoop section, doing a great job heading towards the four-wheel part rock section. Takes a little bit wide there. I like that little line he takes. But Paul Horschel's at the rocks at 50 seconds. This is going to give Nick Nelson a run for his money.
And those shadows are lengthening out the back now. It's getting darker and darker. It's going to be harder and harder for these crews to see those ruts, to see those rocks.
There's Paul Horschel coming through the sand wash as we speak, taking that hard left, but watch these ruts. They've been a little bit difficult there. He goes a little bit wide.
Just looking here, I think he's a little bit off pace at the moment. He needs to pick it up, and let's see what happens.
So he's crossing over right at that 130 mark. But remember, that is a brand new car, and it's looking like it's doing what he designed it to do. His last car was very similar, but it was a single seat. But this year he upped it to his 2-seat for winching and whatnot during race day.
You know, this is like the section that this whole entire downhill section seems to be the turning point for every single run. The faster they're coming down this, the way they're able to avoid the rocks, the boulders and such, try to run that straight line, because there's a lot of points towards the bottom where they have to zigzag back and forth. And if they can straighten that line a little bit, you're going to see some faster runs.
There he is on this little sweeping left-hand turn. We'll see if he does that little shortcut heading up towards the Jeep arch. Harry drops down at 215. He will not bump out Nick Nelson, but he's got a great run. I'm going to guess it right around the top 10, top 15. Paul Horschel, one last jump, grabbing the checkered flag. He's here. He's finished Power Hour. That's Lauren Healy, our 2-time King of the Hammers winner, and a 2-seat IFS Jimmy's car, almost identical to Nick Nelson.
So here we go, it's another Dragon on course now. It's the Dragon 2 and it's Lauren Healy, two-time king of course. So what's Lauren got for us? We've already got a heap of Dragons sitting inside that top 10. Can Lauren add his to the mix?
Interestingly enough, the wind has picked up probably another 5-10 miles an hour, and this is where we watch out on course. Watch where he takes off. Didn't look like he drifted off to the side too much upon landing, but Lauren Healy, yeah, keep an eye on that time. Watch that clock.
I was talking to Lauren earlier this week. He wants to push hard, but he doesn't necessarily want the pole position. He wants to be in that top 5, so he has a little bit of dust to kind of check himself to see how hard he needs to push. Because a lot of people talk about that being out front. You don't know if you're pushing hard enough or pushing too hard.
Well, I'm going to stop you there, Miles, because he just came through there in 48 seconds. That is 2 seconds faster than we've seen so far. Where is Lauren finding this speed? This is awesome to watch.
Lauren Healy pushing hard through the sand wash section. And remember, if you go straight right here, you head up towards back door, so they're going to take a left and go to short bus. And he's on 2 wheels for a little bit.
Wow, look at that. He's lost a few seconds there. So committed, he put it onto 2 wheels. Bicycle rided, but he's back on again. And
sorry, guys, he hasn't lost anything. Look at the time as he crested the top of that hill.
Amazing. Okay, where's Nick Nelson? He's going to be watching this.
Look at the red Dragon headlights on the front. Lauren Healy pushing hard all the way to the end. Is he going to bump out teammates?
Something with the right rear. Take a look closely.
Yeah, he's
flat tire. Flat tire, and I believe something else is the window. No, not the window net. Something on his side of the car.
He's pushing hard. We'll see if that's going to affect his time too much.
So a tough break here for Lauren as he comes around the bottom.
It doesn't appear to be slowing him down too much. He's pushing hard. Lauren Healy.
Guys, this is going to be close.
Lauren Healy heading into the checkered flag. What'd you think of that run, Scott?
He's top 3, without a doubt. Top 3. What does it look like?
Okay, I've got Lauren Healy here. He's coming in at 2:19 and takes 2nd place. Fantastic run.
Imagine what that time would have been without the right rear going down. That's absolutely scary to think about that.
And that was with a flat tire. Also off the line now is Brian Caprera.
Less than a second.
He's a vegetable farmer out of Southern California.
So as we watch Brian Caprera going around, let's just have a quick look at our top 3. In first place, we've got Nick Nelson with a 2:18. We've just seen Lauren Healy cross the line with a 2:19, and then Brian Crofts with a 2:21. It's a Dragon lockout at the top so far.
All 3 Jimmy's cars. He's got to be, Randy Rod's going to be extra excited right now.
Now think about this, guys. One thing we failed to mention. Even if you qualify 18th, 19th, 20th, that's not so bad, because when you go on Friday morning at the starting line, you're going to start 10th in the 10th row. That's not a bad thing. You're still well towards the front.
And it will be on corrected time. They leave 2 at a time in 30-second increments.
Now
so you have to race your own race on race day.
We can see the difference there. Lauren Healy came through there in 48 seconds as we watch Brian Caprera coming through there in 57.
That's another Campbell Enterprise machine, 2C IFS. Caprera's driving. We see Lauren Healy pulling through with a smoking fast 2nd place run. Brian Caprera heading up towards short bus as we speak. You can see how 8 up that left-hand corner's coming, Jim.
Yeah, it's getting really beaten up now. We see Brian crossing out over the top there at 1:36.
Brian Caprera coming down the backside of short bus.
He's going to have to stand on this or he's going to be outside of the top 20. It's getting so tight at the top now.
He's got his son Chase Caprera riding shotgun with him. A father-son duo, always cool to see. They race together on the UTV race in their Can-Am as well. Brian Caprera still racing. He's getting close to the camera side. It's starting to start picking him up. There he is, taking this last left-hand sweeping turn, heading up towards the Jeep arch.
Guys, do you kind of feel the sense in the air that, you know what, the week is well underway and already eyes are starting to point their way towards Friday morning?
Absolutely. Now we're starting to see a sense of order, a sense of what's coming. It's going to be an epic race on Friday. Okay, now we all know who this man is. It's number 76. It's Jason Shearer, last year's king, two-time king. What can he do?
You know, guys, I touched on the fact that Fox Shocks has retuned his shocks. It's kind of, Jason wasn't too crazy about the idea. Hey, it worked before. Why wouldn't it work now? Guys from Fox wanted to make it better. Let's make it better. And Jason's like, okay, I trust you. He's like, Scott, I can go 20 to 24 miles faster through the roughest section than in the past, and I can put a cup of coffee in the dash of my car right through the rough stuff.
Jason Shearer will definitely qualify well today. He's going to push hard all the way to the finish. Jason Shearer is a two-time King of the Hammers winner.
Let's hope he hasn't got a cup of coffee with him today as he heads out towards the four-wheel parts rock section. Now, we saw Lauren come through there earlier with a blistering pace at around about 48 seconds. So that's the benchmark that we need Jason to be at.
Jason Shearer definitely want to qualify up front, but not necessarily on the pole, even though he's been there before. Heading down the four-wheel parts section, one of his main sponsors.
Waving a flag as he goes.
He'll be coming through the sand wash as we speak, and he'll be pushing hard, heading towards short bus. This is a little winding, turning section. Really loose sand wash.
Jason's one of those guys where you sit down and talk to him. He's like so calm, so quiet, very soft-spoken. Really a super, super nice guy. Put the helmet on. Oh, jeez. Tasmanian devil kind of guy.
I had the opportunity to sit down in his camper a couple days ago for about an hour, and we just chatted live, chatted racing, and he's extra excited to be where he's at right now. He's ran up front so many times.
And here comes Jason. Look at that. Car in the air as he makes his way down behind King Hill. We haven't got a clock on him, but this looks very good.
Jason Shearer really pushing hard, wants to qualify well for the 2019 Nitto King of the Hammers powered by Optima battery. This is Power Hour for qualifying.
Now, can he split these three dragons that are locking out the top as we speak? We've got Nick Nelson, Lauren Healy, and Brian Crofts as Jason flies through the Jeep arch.
He's got just a couple more jumps here in town. We'll see him cross the checkered flag. There he goes, Jason Shearer sideways across the final jump.
Oh my word. Oh my word. Jason Shearer crosses the line in second position with a 2:18.462. Oh, amazing. He is only a couple of tenths behind Nick Nelson. Wow.
Think about the difference in the track conditions between Nelson's run and Shearer's run.
So there's Raul Gomez. He's got his new wrap on. He'll be racing Thursday in his brand new T1 truck. Raul Gomez, always a fun one to watch. He's fast. He's crazy. In another Joe Thompson UFO built machine.
We have 1.4 seconds separating the top three cars.
That just goes to show how close these cars will be running together on race day. Raul, sponsored by Four Wheel Parts, getting ready to head into that rock section.
There's definitely a distinctive sound to that car. Even that far away, we can hear it off in the distance. There's no other car so far we've heard that sounded anything like that thing.
The wind is still blistering through the desert here in southern Johnson Valley, California.
And here comes Raul now, making his way out through the back end of short bus. A little bit off pace at the moment. But he'll be looking for a clean run. Heads up over the top, and this is pretty good. This is on 130 pace.
This has got top 10 written all over it if he can keep it together on this little downhill loose rock section.
And here comes Raul down through the back of short bus now. That UFO car looking absolutely fantastic. A big feature of these cars is the fact that you sit in the center, fuel tanks either side of you. and have superb visibility across the top of the hood.
Raul all over the throttle heading into the Jeep arch as we speak. He'll bail down this little rock section and come on into the short course. Raul Gomez, one jump to go. There's the checkered flag. What'd you think of that run, Scott?
You know, I kind of, he's one of the drivers that's always very, very fun to watch because he hangs it out so darn much. So I'm kind of surprised we didn't see him kind of push it out there a little bit more, but I'm thinking as long as he's starting the top 10, I think he's going to be okay.
Off the line next, Clay Gilstrap out of Texas. He's always ran up front, but I had some issues. He's a fun one to watch.
He is. Raul Gomez crossed the line in 14th position with 2 minutes 28. He'll be happy with that as we watch Clay working his way around through the short course.
All teams are involved in the Pit Crew Challenge. Please report to staging right now. Enter through gate 3. Enter the area through gate 3. All UTV 46, 48, 45, T1, and 4400 cars. If you're involved in the Pit Crew Challenge, please report to staging immediately. We're going to get underway with Pit Crew Challenge right after qualifying.
Clay's got a good run going, heading up to the four-wheel parts rock section.
Yeah, he's a little bit off of final pace, but he's doing good. This will put him up into the top 20 if he can hold it together.
Clay's been racing with us for a very long time, always a crowd favorite, always a good time to chat with.
He's got some of the greatest one-liners with that Texas twang I think I've ever heard. It's so much fun talking to that guy.
He's always in for a good time for sure. But right now, he's definitely in the zone, pushing hard. Number 26, Clay Gilstrap.
Makes his way out towards the top of short bus. Over he goes. He's down on time.
But the car still looks like it's working in perfect condition. There's a lot of these loose rocks that keep getting kicked out there, Jim.
Indeed, it's going to get worse and worse.
Got 5 or 6 more to go. Clay Gilstrap, we'll see where he hits this little bunny hop, gets a little bit of air time, but keeps her under control. The wind is blowing very hard, but there's a lot of people right here with us in front of the Jumbotron. So thanks for everybody here on site for staying here, watching the Jumbotron with us, and everybody back at home, ultra4racing.com/live. Clay bails through the Jeep arch. One final jump to go, and he'll get the checkered flag. Clay Gilstrap gets a time.
And next up, it's Andrew McLaughlin from Let's Roll Off-Road.
What do you think of that run there, Scott?
Crowd favorite.
I'm a big, huge fan of that driver right there because like I said, I love talking to him. And another car, very, very stout engine. Listen to the sound. I love listening to these cars when they leave the line. There's certain different nuances, different sounds. I really like listening to these cars when they come off the line.
That's Andrew McLaughlin. Let's Roll Off-Road. Another 2-seat IFS Jimmy's chassis.
Once again, all teams involved in the Pit Crew Challenge, please report to staging right now. Enter in through gate number 3.
Andrew McLaughlin, of course, no stranger to drama in qualifying. The other year, he went end over end and then continued to lay down a fantastic time. The year before that, he was exploding rocks. So let's see what he can do today.
And we just know that Nick Nelson's hanging out right here watching, just worried about if he's going to get bumped off or not. Hopefully he'll come up and chat with us here very shortly. Andrew McLaughlin having a very smooth run so far. And sometimes smooth is fast.
drivers take this very, very seriously. When as soon as they get into their run, they come up here from the Jumbotron and are watching for themselves. I see Levi Campbell out there. I'm trying to pick out some more drivers out of the crowd. But yeah, when they come up after their run to watch their competitors after them come up, that kind of telltale sign that these guys are taking it very seriously.
Andrew McLaughlin bouncing down this rock section, off camber, downhill, loose rocks everywhere, and then he'll dive into the desert. There's that little G out bunny hop right there, gets a little sideways, keeps her under control.
That's absolutely shows how good the suspension is on these cars. They just hit that big kicker and just keep on going.
Andrew McLaughlin heading down the Jeep Arch Rock section, heading into town. Having a very good run. The car looks like it's still intact. Gets the checkered flag. Up next is another two-time King of the Hammers winner, Randy Slauson.
Randy, of course, designer and owner of Bomber. And it's going to be his Bomber that's going to be leaving the line any second now.
Another solid axle machine, two-seat. He's got a lot of chassis out here running with us. Very lightweight, but very nimble in the rocks.
The top 16 cars are all IFS vehicles currently. So can Randy Slauson put a solid axle car into the top 16?
And we know he's fast. He was battling with Jason Shearer last year all the way to the end and then blew a tranny 4 miles out. So he's back for some redemption.
Yeah, look how he's skillfully avoiding the whoops. Kind of just a tick off to the side, 4 or 5 feet to the one side, missing all the whoops. Very smart driving out there going on.
He's around about 3 seconds off pace currently. But he's a talented pilot. And if anyone can make up the time, it is Randy.
Heading into the sand wash section. He's really moving good through here. But the course is starting to get chewed up. It's changed quite a bit since they pre-ran it. Kind of straddles that rut right there. I like the way he picked that line.
I'm not sure he had much choice there, Miles. I think that's just where he got thrown. This is what we were talking about earlier. You can be a fantastic pilot, you can have an amazing car, but you do need to have that little bit of luck.
About 6 seconds off pace coming up over short bus.
Historically not the fastest of qualifiers, but that never stops him from doing well at this race. Picks his way through the field when he gets into the big rocks.
Randy Slauson shines in the desert, but is also super fast in the... He's just going really good right now.
Really like the way that car looks out on course. Very, very light. Getting great traction. Another one of those drivers has got that little Fox Shock secret going on here this week.
I think he's on King now,
King,
mate.
I'm sorry, King.
There goes Slauson down the Jeep Arch as we speak, heading on into the short course. Couple more jumps to go. Completely sideways, and he's crossed the checkered flag.
And waiting on the start line now, it's Bailey Cole. Son of Dave Cole, of course. But forget that, because he's a fantastic racer in his own right now. This young man has come up through the ranks, and he's just about to show us what he can do.
And they've been working on that car all day. I popped through the pits earlier, and they had the transfer case out, but it looks like they got it back in action, and that Trent Fab car is on course.
This is the car that came second in the 4400 class at the Baja 1000 this year. Or last year, should I?
Yeah, Bailey's had a lot of time out in this course just this week alone, to say not what he's been doing out here before, but behind the wheel, kind of teamed up with Robbie Gordon. or should I say Max Gordon, 10-year-old Max Gordon teamed up in the UT race.
Yeah, he raced UTV. He'll be racing the Legends tomorrow. And right now, he's qualifying for the 2019 Nitto King of the Hammers, powered by Optima batteries.
So we're watching Bailey Cole now as he's coming round the bottom of the short bus.
Bailey
Cole
Cole
so happy to be part of this power hour.
Heading through the sand wash as we speak. The Nitto tires grabbing all the traction they can, heading up short bus.
Once again, another call for all the teams involved in the Pit Crew Challenge. Report to staging immediately. We need all the UTV, 46, 48, 45, T1, and 4400 teams involved in the Pit Crew Challenge. Please report to staging right away.
Okay, watching Bailey Cole now, coming on down the hill. He's off pace, but he's not that worried. He just wants to get a good start position for Friday's main race. The 2019 Nitto King of the Hammers, powered by Optima batteries.
Bailey Cole has a very smooth run going. The car looks like it's working absolutely flawless. Trent Fab, 2-seat, solid axle machine, heading down the Jeep arch as we speak.
Nice job by Bailey Cole as he crosses the line, completing his qualifying lap.
So there's Bailey Campbell, Terry Madden, getting ready to take off. 2-seat IFS Monster Energy Nitto tires powered machine.
Tell you, I love that shot looking inside the cockpit. So cool when they got that visor down, the helmets on, and you're looking at the concentration of these drivers.
This is its first race here at King of the Hammers. It raced most of the season last year, so it'll be very interesting to see how it does on race day. Bailey Campbell has been doing very good the last few years. It's great to see her out here racing with us. The whole Campbell family in full force.
That car looks so fantastically smooth through that rough terrain.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Something happened, but they got it figured out very quickly. Lost a couple seconds, but she's back in motion.
I noticed that the taillights went out just for a second with that, so I wonder if something electrical happened. I don't know if they're running two boxes, if maybe she switched over to a different box, but yeah, for just a second there I watched, the taillights did go out.
Bailey Campbell heading through the sand wash as we speak. Terry Madden riding shotgun. This car is very, very fast in the desert. And it's making quick work up short bus. Jim, this has been a lot of fun for Power Hour, hadn't buddy?
It's always great to be here, mate, and it's always fantastic to
Guys,
be here for
look at her
Power Hour.
time. Look at her time. She crested right around 129, 130.
And that's with that little hiccup as well.
So she's made up around about 4 to 5 seconds through that gnarly area on the back of short bus. Just showing the skills this young lady has.
She is absolutely pushing. She's got a great run going.
Guys, she's on it. She is on it. Look at this. Disappears just for a second. Now watch the line she'll take it coming up as it appears back on the screen.
We've got Nick Nelson right by us. We'll have him on stage here shortly, but he's patiently awaiting. He's laughing, he's clapping, he's excited, all smiles. Bailey Campbell is pushing all the way.
That's a fantastic turn at the top there to come through the Jeep arch. Wheels off the ground.
Completely launching through there. Bailey Campbell has
easily
a
a
great
top
run.
10, guys, I believe. Easily a top 10. Pitched it sideways off that last jump. gosh,
That was an
if the
awesome
fans at
run
home could hear us right
for
now,
Bailey
the fans
Campbell.
here around the Jumbotron are fist pumping, especially the ladies are super excited right now.
Last but not least, Derek West on course. Nitto Tires KMC wheels out of Springfield, Missouri.
And Bailey Campbell came in with a 2:31, which puts her in 21st position. So she couldn't make up that lost time earlier on. As Derek West powers round that first big Talladega bend.
He's teammates with our current leader, Nick Nelson, Jimmy's 4x4. Derek West has been rock crawling for as long as I can remember. Been racing all over. Great to see him still racing with us here in Ultra 4.
So as Derek charges down this course, let's have a quick recap of our top 10. In 10th position, we've got Shannon Campbell. In 9th position is Jordan Pellegrino. In 8th,
Paul Horschel, number 7th, Cody Addington.
in 6th is Casey Curry. Then in 5th is JP Gomez.
4th is Brian Croft. 3rd is Lauren Healy.
And then in 2nd, we have Jason Shearer. And at the side of stage, waiting as we speak, is Nick Nelson.
There comes Derek West once again coming through the sand wash section. Really moving good. Car looks like it's in great condition still. Powering up short bus as we speak.
Nick, just about half a lap remaining of this, and you're up here for the last 3 or 4 qualifiers. What's going through your head right now? Is your, I wouldn't say your pole position's in jeopardy, but it's looking pretty good so far.
Nah, man, I left a little bit out there. I got bounced off my line twice, and there was a lot of fast guys, so I wasn't sure it was going to stick or not, but either way, we'll be in a good spot, so I'm happy.
What's it mean to the drivers when you talk to the rest of the 4,400 guys you race against? What's it mean to have the pole for the King of the Hammers?
I think it's a big deal. I mean, this race is bigger than that, though. It's not a sprint. It's a battle. So I don't think it really sets you up for failure or something not to be up there. But it's nice to be in clean air for sure.
We're going to talk to you right as soon as we're done here, so don't go anywhere.
Okay, as we watch Derek West hanging out and coming down through to the finish line now. And there's still more to come, still more action. There's one man we haven't seen yet today, a man that could change everything.
And there he is right there. Tom Ways back here in Hammertown. Brand new Dan Trout built machine, 2-seat IFS. I chatted with him earlier in the week. He's very excited, and he wants that $100,000 win. Tom Ways on course.
Was looking at this car earlier this week, and it's absolutely beautiful. They've copied a lot of the suspension geometry from his old car, and in fact, he's racing with his old engine in this new car. Let's see what he can do.
This will be interesting to see how this plays out, because last time Tom Ways raced here at King of the Hammers, he'd left the line side by side with Nick Nelson. Can he repeat that? Time will tell.
As we know, so much about this racing is seat time, and Tom has had very little seat time in this new car, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do.
But Tom Ways is an absolute madman behind the wheel. He's going to give it all he's got. He's led this race a lot of. He's got a lot of race miles in the lead out here, but never been able to keep it together. We'll see if this new car can handle it.
Yeah, he's around about 2 seconds off pace at the moment, but this is Tom Ways, so anything can happen.
That brand new car is looking good. He only started driving this thing about 2 weeks ago. Came out here and did a little test and tune section.
I'm going to put Nick on the spot right now because I'm watching him instead of the screen. Every once in a while he glances up, then looks away. Then he glances up again, then kind of looks away. So it's like, I know he's on pins and needles right now, but that would be darn cool to see the two guys here that did it last year starting side by side again this year off the course.
Tom
there
Ways
goes.
takes a little wrong bounce there, gets crossed up, so that's going to cost him a few seconds for sure.
Yeah, no, he's way off pace now. He's looking at about 1:37 going up over the top of short bus. He needed to be about 10 seconds quicker than that to be challenging.
Tom Ways coming down this little tight, windy rock section.
Yeah, look, guys, he's off the pace right now. I think he's, I don't want to say he's cashed it in, realized what's happened, but he's a little bit off the pace. There might even be something a little mechanical.
I think he's got a mechanical
with it.
problem there. Let's have a look and see how this pans out, but this isn't how Tom would normally drive.
It's like the back of the car wants to come around on him a little bit.
But there he's back on the throttle, really hauling through the whoop section there.
Didn't look like that left front was kicking up the dirt like it should have been. Maybe he lost front.
But it looks like it might be our KMC hard charger, might be Nick Nelson. We'll see. He's definitely missed Nick's time right now. Tom Way's coming down the Jeep arch as we speak, bouncing down this rock section. Coming on into the short course, a couple more quick jumps. Tom Ways crosses the checkered flag right now. Nick Nelson's up here clapping.
Well, it's been a fantastic day of 4,400 qualifying action, and it all finished with Power Hour. But just before Power Hour, we had something special. We had someone come and join us on track, and that was Khaleesi and Nick Nelson. We saw 950 horsepower go on that track and throw down a time that no one else could beat.
Nick, you had one heck of a run. You took off the line with that big block and just absolutely was all over the throttle. How'd you feel about the run, and did you think it would stick?
I felt like it was a pretty good run. Like I said, man, it's way rougher than the video does justice out there. It's beat up in the back, so I definitely ended up out of my line once or twice, so I wasn't sure that was going to stay.
You're obviously excited about starting up front, but I've talked to a lot of people. Some people do want to be on the pole. Some people don't. With no, you're going to have the clean air on race day, but you're not chasing dust. So how do you know how hard to push it? Or do you give it 100%, or keep in comms with your guys, or what is your strategy on race day?
Man, that's the hardest thing. I think it's kind of like these endurance races. You have to go slow enough to win, but you know, there's a ton of fast guys. So man, it's a balance, and there's no perfect answer.
And you know, we talk about this all the time. To finish first you must finish. So you got to push hard, but you got to keep the car together.
Yeah, 100%. We've led this race 3 times and had it get away from us, you know, one way or the other, pit mistake or car failure. You know, it's just a battle, man. So we're just going to go out there and make some dust and see how it plays out.
Well, again, congratulations. You are the KMC hard charger for the 2019 Nitto King of the Hammers, powered by Optima batteries. You're KMC sponsored yourself. You got to be excited about that.
Yeah, man. It's awesome to be on the front row for the 3rd time here and bring home a 2nd pole. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
And let's turn around real quick, and we're going to check out the leaderboard. Well, what a day we've had. This was Power Hour. This finishes up qualifying for the 2019 Nitto King of the Hammers, powered by Optima Battery. Jim, Scott, we've had a lot of fun. Thanks for everybody staying tuned in. We still have buggy whips tonight.
Okie so well, it's been a fantastic day of action here in Hammertown. We've seen some amazing stuff, but most importantly, we've seen these Dragon 2s come from nowhere and dominate qualifying today. But now the action continues, and at 5:30 this afternoon, we're going to have the Pit Crew Challenge here in Hammertown, where the top pit crews get a chance to battle it out against each other. I'm Jim Marsden. I'm going to sign off now and leave you with Marcus Quest and Scott Wren, and allow you to enjoy this blistering run from Nick Nelson and Khaleesi.
4WP is more than a store. We're truck and Jeep experts and have been for over 50 years. From wheel and tire upgrades to full custom builds, 4WP has you covered. Whether you want to order the best parts online or shop in store, do the work yourself or get it done by a pro, all roads lead to 4WP. Do your rig right. Shop online or find your store at 4WP.com.
We didn't just test the new Optima Yellow Top with Pure Flow technology, we tortured it. King of the Hammers is 181 battery-killing miles of relentless, unforgiving hellishness. It's one thing to call yourself the ultimate power source. It's another thing to prove it. The all-new Optima Yellow Top with Pure Flow technology with up to 3 times the battery life. Unsurpassed performance built to fit today's vehicles. Optima, the ultimate power source.